You all right, Gary? It's been a quick week, I think, hasn't it, this week? I don't know about you, but it seems to have flown by this week.
Honestly, it's just like, I think you measure the week by Fridays now. I'm checking, my emails, doing everything we need to do work-wise. And then all of a sudden it's Friday again. It's just comes around so quick, mate. Can't get enough of a good thing, so they say.
And I think there's lots of stuff to discuss tonight, looking at, we always want to keep positive on Barbers' Arms while we have a beer, but I'm sure when you all have a beer in your bar tonight, if you were barbers like me and Gaz are and hairdressers, you'd sit down tonight and you'd be talking about some of the announcements that's come from the government. And I think me and Gaz have just been talking before we come live is that, if you've not been doing it right, you're not wearing your masks, so we're not immune to it. So collectively, do your bit, because there's been that many people not doing the bits that, look, we're getting second spikes that's happening everywhere around the country, especially up in Northwest. I feel for everybody up there, but you've got to continue to be vigilant, to be cautious, do the right thing. Because, look, it's around the corner if we don't. I think my warning to everybody would be, just think of me, I've done nothing barring Zoom calls and everything. Just think of poor old me. You're going to keep me sat at home again for another 6 months. I'll seize up. I'm desperate to get away. So let's try and do the right thing, guys. And I feel for everybody who's back on a lockdown. How's that affect us in barbering, Gary, with what the announcements have come out?
We were taking appointments for tomorrow. The first, we were going to get shaving services back on the service list, on the menu, and it's just gone a bit tits up, really. We've now been pushed back to the 15th, skin effect, beautician, so eye work, brows, all that kind of work as well. We've also, I think it's going to be mandatory now to wear, we've kind of got away with it in the shops. We've pushed it anyway from a mask point of view. So clients, we've always on our website, booking app, we've always pushed wear masks, please. Some people are exempt, under 11s, people with health problems, respiratory problems. But I think like you've just said, I totally agree. We've got to take this serious. I know we have taken it serious. And as an industry as a whole, we've done really well. But I think with all these spikes, the regional ones, I mean, it's not too far from me. Well, not too far from yourself either. Greater Manchester area, varying all around there. It's not a laughing match. It hasn't closed the shops down, but all social distancing's got to be 2 meters, got to be put back in place. Stick to your bubble, not visiting each other's houses. So it's serious, and we don't want the shops closing down again. So please, everybody, do your little bit out there. Take it serious and make sure you wear those visors. It's the only mandatory bit that we've got to take with us. But from our week, we've had a really busy week. It's all settled down again. I think everybody noticed a little bit of a slack spot that came in after our first 2 weeks once we opened on the 4th. But, our bookings are really up again. We've got a really, really busy weekend. I've actually, I know I didn't tell you before I come on, but I've actually had the day off today. I actually been in work today. I've been into Wales. I've been on a bit of a jolly today.
Good lad. You deserve it. You've worked your socks off, mate, and your team at Rogers. You've all done really well. I mean, I know first week we spoke about it, but just trying to know your figures in the, is it 3 weeks you've been open? 3 weeks to tomorrow, or is it 4 weeks tomorrow?
It's 4 weeks tomorrow, yeah.
So you've probably got through maybe 3,500 customers in that period of time with the correct PP. You've done it right. So fair play to everybody. You deserve a day off, mate. And I'm sure you've thoroughly enjoyed it. Anyway, we're in the bar. We're having a beer. Got a great show coming up tonight on Barbers' Arms, episode 17. Can't believe we're saying that. Sat with my best pal, Mr. Newcastle Brown, Mr. Machin himself. Tonight we've got a great show coming up as well. We've got the amazing James Beaumont, who's going to be joining us. James got a little story about giving me the brush off at some point in his career, which is really good. And I want to talk to him about that tonight, which is really good. It's a great story, that, by the way, Gaz. And I tell you what, we'll talk about it, me and James, tonight, because it clears things up with people like, oh, did he give you a knockback? The reason why he give it to me, I give him full blessing to move forward. And, I was thinking in the week about this. It's like Alex Ferguson tried to sign Alan Shearer and he tried to sign Paul Gascoigne. They both knocked him back. Man United didn't stop winning the 13, 14 titles that they won, but neither did Alan Shearer stop being top goal scorer in Premier League or Gaza being a global superstar. So James has gone on to do his thing. We do our thing. But that's the way I looked at it, is that they did great, not by signing for Man U, but that's the kind of analyst I would like to go on that. 136,000 views from last week from Jamie Stevens. Did you enjoy that, Gus?
Oh, brilliant. I thought, what a fantastic guest. I had great feedback. People were messaging me all the time. Lovely fella. I thought he was really down to earth as well. He didn't pull any punches, told it how it was. I mean, when a person like that, with the profile he's got and the how his career has progressed, to be still turned over and admit it live on for 140,000 people to hear it, I think it's refreshing. I think it's fantastic. And, it was a really great interview, I thought. I thought I could have talked to him all night, to be honest. It was really good.
My inbox didn't stop buzzing for about an hour afterwards, asking, who did he go into business that shafted him? I'm like, nah. I even had a message of the people who were involved to say, you are going to be very professional on this one. And of course, Barbers Arms is not a platform to dish too much dirt on people. We like to be, really controversial on here. Look, this is all about, after you finish work, going into a bar on a Friday night and having a beer. And what me and Gaz will talk about is the kind of topics of the week with special guests, with local heroes. And it's all good. We've got some real exciting news that we're going to launch tonight as well on Barbers Arms. This we've said over the last probably 7 or 8 weeks how this has turned from just us having a chat and being nice and keeping it real over lockdown to where it's become now a staple part of the hairdressing and barbering diary every week that Barbers Arms is on. Some great stuff to launch tonight, which we're going to come up probably while we're talking to James. We'll tell you a little bit about that and what you can do from Monday forward. Any information as well, you can always follow Gary on the British Barber on his Instagram, or Simon Shaw Wahl on my Instagram. But also as well, you can also go on to thebarbersarms.co.uk. That is our website. And if you want to email us about future things that's coming up and some of the stuff we're going to launch tonight, that email address is barbersarms@britishbarbers.com, which is good. Remember, next week is our first live. We're going out. Me and Gaz will be in Leeds on the 7th of August. Our first live show. You know what, Gary? I was in Leeds yesterday and I went past it and I had a look upstairs at the bar and it looks fantastic. That's going to be at the Barber House Bar, which is in Leeds, and that is owned by the famous Irishman Johnny Barber at Barber Salon. He's got a great little bar upstairs. And we're going to be interviewing some really cool people. Matt Glennon, ex-professional footballer who's turned into barbering. Matt's going to be on the show next Friday. And Johnny should be there as well if we can get him out of Manchester, along with some other special guests, Geoff Davies from Savon. So I'm really looking forward to next Friday. Guys, I don't know about you. Have you got your hotel booked?
No, not yet. I'm I'm really, really looking forward to this. I know I've been out on a little bit of a jolly today, seen some fellas, because I haven't been with Rach, I haven't been with the better half. I've had a day off and been out on the beer with the lads and a bit of fresh air out in the country, Llangollen, so it was great. But I'm really looking forward to getting back in a pub environment. I don't know about yourself, but I haven't been back into the pub a lot, to be honest. We haven't got a lot of pubs open around us at the moment. My local's limited on what it's doing at the moment. I don't know about you, so I'm looking forward to having a bit of a thrash and feeling rough in the morning with a bit of luck. So, and I'm really, really looking forward to Matt and his point of view on the take on barbering. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a nice weekend start.
I think Matt's got some great stuff that he's doing with the PFA when footballers come out of football, because knowing myself, my son, he's in football and, from Man United to Leeds United to Barnsley, and through COVID, unfortunately, if you weren't in the first team, they got rid of every single squad player. 12 of them went in one day. But luckily now, Alex, my son, good luck for tomorrow. He starts over at Salford United FC. That's owned by David Beckham, Gary Neville. He's staying at Hotel Football at Old Trafford. He's not a Man U fan, but he can't wait to get to Salford, even though it is under lockdown, I think, Salford. But that's going to be a really exciting chapter for family in what's been a tough week, really, personally, Gary, which I'll not go into, but I think I had a couple of years ago where there was something that happened, and I always said to everybody, I just threw myself into work every single day, and it really helped to, sometimes when things are shit, you think, I'm not going in today, I can't be arsed, I've got an hangover, I've got a bit of cold, and I'm opposite. When something's not right, I throw myself into work, I live at work, and it seems to take your mind off things and work, but unfortunately, my position at the minute, I can't get into work, do you know what I mean? I might come and interview, actually, for a stylist, just a junior stylist at Rogers. I can't do 20 cuts a day. I might get through 7. They'll be good. I'll take my time. And I'm going retailing, and they'll all rebook, and I'm sure they'll have a laugh, but don't expect big numbers because I'll probably be able to get about 7 of them as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll be having to have a guest spot. You can be my junior for the day. That'd be good.
Do you know what? It'd be really good. Your stuff would be so prepared. Your clippers would be immaculately clean. You'd be like, but it would be like a drug, because once I've gone, you'd be craving for me again to come back in to do that.
I guarantee, mate. I guarantee. I think you've hit the nail on the head, really. There, with I think through lockdown, and if we are having a tough time, I think sometimes, and I think with the type of personalities as well, where work's your saviour, isn't it? Even if stuff is not going to plan, generally in your life, work definitely for me at certain points in my life has been my saviour, and working for yourself as well, and having other people to rely on, like your team. You can't fall apart anyway, or you can't just think, oh, bugger it, I'm not going in today. It's not an option, is it, with people like yourself? So, testament to yourself, no matter what goes on, the show goes on, doesn't it, mate?
It is. And do you know what? I think it was, I think the song was called, it was Sunscreen. It was something launched in Wear Sunscreen. And I think it was to words in the 90s to some background music. And there's one part on that things will hit you sometimes on a blind side on a Tuesday when you're least expecting it. And that kind of has happened this week to the family. And, sometimes you just got to get on with it. And it's tough, but lots of good messages off your good self here at Barbers Arm. So, we move on, we get on with it, and hopefully everything's going to be good.
Yeah, well, we're always here, mate. And we're a barber family, aren't we? And I think all our usual guests, we've got Alison Rousseau-Brown, Ross Carter, Mark Walters, Nikos, Titters, and everybody else, all the Rogers team. We've got all our usual guys that are following us as well. So we've got our usual guys on the road. Hopefully we're going to have a few of them with us next week as well. And our local heroes, we've got another great couple of local heroes tonight. We've got Paul Devro from Devro's Barbers in Cumbria, and we've got Mark Egerton from Egerton Barbers in Shropshire. So anybody who knows these guys, stay tuned. They're going to be with us later on in the second half of the show. And hopefully we'll get an insight into their barbershop, which is always great. I think it's a really cool part of the show as well, because we're all nosy. We all want to have a look in everybody else's shop. We all think we can do it the best. But when we see their shops today, I think we're in for a treat today, and a little special one from Mark. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think we've got James on the line.
Hello.
James, how are you, sir?
Good. How are you guys?
Fantastic.
We're good. How are you, James?
Well,
very good, thank you. Hot day, wasn't it?
Oh.
Hot. Well, it's always hot where you are. You've got the English Riviera down in your area, haven't you?
Yeah.
Have you been in the salon today?
Yeah, I've been working today, and yeah, it's been pretty hot. We've had both doors open, getting that air circulation, and it's pretty warm.
We've got thunderstorms up here now, both of you. So I don't know what your weather's like. On my conservatory roof, it's pattering down. So if that's the outside noise coming in, we've got a thunderstorm hanging around. But it's been red hot, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's been really warm.
Well, like
James,
I say, I've been in Wales. I've been in Wales today, and it's been absolutely red hot. But it's so close as well, and it's quite buttery, really. We haven't got any rain here yet, but what's the temperature's been like for you down there, James?
I think it's been in the 30s.
Oh, perfect. What are you drinking tonight, anyway?
Koppenberg.
Koppenberg. Cider man, eh? You've got to coming from where you come from anyway, haven't you, cider?
Hey, Gav. We'll come on to it, but he needs to. He's got to be careful what he says. On the first night, I took him out for some beers up in Manchester. So tight lips. What happened in Manchester stays in Manchester.
Vegas.
Start, young man. I don't know if you saw the little briefing that we had, James, but a lot of people said to me, obviously we talked about. I think you've done excellent after you won the Wahl Barber of the Year. You were certainly that year was one of the most comprehensive points win that I'd seen in a long time. You were superb, so polished, so good at what you'd done. But I think that resonates in everything that you've done as well in your career. So me and Gaz, you've seen Barbers Arms, you know what's coming up. We're going to ask you some questions just about your career in general, just having a beer in a bar or a cider. And then we'll finish off with a little profile questions on James Beaumont himself. A little bit again. So our viewers, hopefully around about 150 to 200,000 views this week, we're aiming for. Listen in. But one of the things, James, straight away that we're going to go straight into, our producer will come straight away when that they might say that's a bit quick. You win the Wahl Barber of the Year. You come on a few events. We'll forget the Manchester bit. Well, we had a nice restaurant though, yeah? You enjoyed the restaurants?
Oh, it was lovely, yeah. What was the name again?
San Carlos.
Oh, yeah, it was brilliant.
I've got me and Gary's been in there a few times, and in fact, a really funny story between me and Gary one night. We had a table of Wahl people, and then there was a table of the BBA at the side of us, and I kept sneaking drinks from the waiter because Charlotte, you know Charlotte, my PA, she watches what I drink on a night and stuff, make sure. But I got the thirst that night, and the bar bill, the bill came for us, and I'm like, Charlotte said, "Oh, that's a bit. It's about 450 quid." I'm thinking, no, I'll take that because there was about 11 of us. I'm thinking there's only like maybe 8 or 9 beers on this bill, and I think I'd had about 15. But Gary said that he was paying for 7 or 8 beers that weren't on his bill. So fair play to you, Gaz. Well done. Cheers to you, Gaz.
Quality.
Cheers, Trevor.
The thing is about that story is Charlotte questioned how many beers was on the Wahl bill, and I said, "You've missed about half a dozen off." I said, "Ridiculous! He's been drinking all night." But that's another story anyway. Just before you go into your story about, and you take my thunder really, Simon, because I was getting to nail you on this because I really wanted to push this anyway. But
well,
James,
you can go ask him, guys, if you want.
No. You've set it up now, but just before we go into that, James, just give us a 1 minute, 2 minute bio of who James Beaumont is and what you are, where you come from, and what you actually, who is James?
Okay, sure. Well, obviously my name's James Beaumont. I've been in the industry for about 14 years now, cutting hair. I still cut women as well as men, but I'd say about 70% of men. And, I had the opportunity of going for Wahl Barber of the Year and succeeded, and it was amazing. And it was great to work with the team, with Simon and the team, fantastic team. And I also am a global ambassador of the brand 1922 by JMQ. I've been working with them for probably about 4 years, but I was working with them beforehand anyway, which is an amazing brand, a hair cosmetic brand. And 1922 is a men's barbering collection range for hair cosmetics, and provide education for them for the products as well as barbering needs as well for services, and my own education as well, traveling the globe, giving my education as well.
Perfect. Are you a husband, father?
So personal side, yeah. I've got a wife, beautiful wife. Don't have kids just yet, maybe a year or 2, and a little cockapoo.
Oh, very good. Cool. I mean, we have bumped into you, personally. You following you around with with the brand that you offer, especially in the States. I know I've followed you into some places and we've done the same shows and different things. And is it a Dutch brand that you actually represent?
Yeah, it's a Dutch brand. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I know you've got a great stage presence, and you know you've been really regaled for what you've done around the world. So that leads us on. So we're going to let Simon give you some stick now and give us the story of what you did to Wahl.
Well, as I said to you earlier, James, the way I looked at this was when people asked me about this, because obviously I think with Wahl, it's a massive global company. And I think, you know, it was very refreshing. So to tell the viewers who's going to watch this, James won the Wahl Barber of the Year, did really well, did some events with us, took up to Manchester, came and did Barber Connect. Was very professional on stage, and I thought he'd done enough to join in part of the team. But he actually said at that point that he got enough going off with 1922 and Kuhn. He was their international brand ambassador. He got a lot of work doing it, the way he was located, where he is, and he wanted to be that man for them, and potentially not just be part of the overall team at Wahl. And do you know what, James? What I said to everybody was, I've just said it to Gaz, I don't know if you saw it before, Man United have tried to sign some big players over the years. It didn't stop them doing what they did, and it's not stopped them players being sensational on their own patch. And do you know what, pal? I'm fair play to you. I've never once said to you, I never said, oh, you know, you're a twat, or I don't want to talk to you. When we've seen each other, I've always said, well done, pal. At the time, I said, well done to you. And this is why you're on Barber's Arms as well. It's one of those nice ones where people are like, well, why did James get elbow? I know that you would have never said any different to what I'm just saying there. Fair play to you, mate. Very professional. Got your head screwed on. And that was my take on it anyway. What, you know, in your words, how did you find it when we offered you a contract?
Oh, I was really excited. I was excited through the whole thing. I was really ecstatic about it, and privileged for you to approach me and ask me. It was a hard decision, a lot of sleepless nights, and there was a lot of sleepless nights. How am I going to tell Simon as well at the time making that decision? So it was really awkward, blooming awkward about it. But I've been working with Q for a few years, and I've travelled with them, and I've made great friendships, as well as working with Wahl. The team are fantastic, the knowledge, and they're a great team, a great buzz around them. So that's what made it difficult as well. But I felt like I wanted to stay with the brand, and I had good opportunities with them also in the future. Yeah.
Do you know what, James? We'll have a drink on that. Good answer. It's so refreshing to have a little bit of loyalty and know exactly where you want to go as well. So all the very best. Are you having a little shot, guys? What you are? I'm on tequila. Little shot of tequila. I don't know if everybody can see. Tequila. James, this is the point where you see it coming out my nose. It's the only job in the world that you get paid for drinking. I'm on a little whiskey tonight. I'm on a Jura, which is a really nice Scotch whiskey, a malt that I bought in Scotland on my travels. So I'm on the whiskey tonight. We've got a whiskey flavour tonight. So do you like whiskey, James?
I'm not the biggest fan of whiskey, I have to be honest. But my dad absolutely loves it, and he gets all sorts of great whiskies.
We're going to talk about the family dynamics in a minute, James. So I want to come on to the family dynamics as well. But here at Barber's Arms, we've got some exciting news, James, that's coming up. I don't know if you've been tuning in and watching some of these episodes of Barber's Arms over lockdown. Yeah. But this is really, really, really big news. Guys, on Monday, we are going to launch our educational platform that's coming up. This is going to be an online platform that you can register from Monday. Or just messages saying I'm in. We'll scroll through this now and tell you what's going to be happening. We're going to be showing different haircuts. We've got some amazing presenters that's going to be involved in this. So we can see as we work through this, we're going to be doing some really nice new cuts as well. We're going to be showing you the mode. We're going to be showing you the signature shave by the BBA, which is fantastic. I've even had Gary Machin down to Wahl to work with our educators on the shave because it is superb. We've got the Afro Fade as well. We've also got the Razor Rock, and we've got what was the front cover of Modern Barber this issue. We've got the Lloyd, which is going to be superb. So, and then we're going to finish off with some chat and some candour in the Barber's Arms afterwards. This is what a virtual education is going to look like. Myself, Gary Machin, we've got Michael Damiano, who's an Hall of Fame Barber of the Year in the Afro. We've got great Eric Lander's going to be joining us as well. And Wahl lead educator Sam Campagna is going to be joining us. Guys, please share this now, but also as well, you can register for this education on Monday. It's going to go live on Monday on the barbersarms.co.uk. Also, any more information as well, you can always email us about this at barbersarms@britishbarbers.com, or get in touch with me and Gaz and everything. But that's going to be fantastic, James. That first time of its thing. We're seeing lots of education, aren't we, over lockdown, even before lockdown. Everybody's been doing mannequins in their apartments, in their houses. And I think some of it's been good, and the industry's really come together. But I think looking at what's happening now in the country, a few more lockdowns, a few more restrictions happening, what we wanted to do at Barber's Arms is really, really tighten this up and make it really nice and slick. So, guys, get in there on Monday, get registered for that. It's going to be the first of its kind ever. So that's going to be big, and it's going to happen on Monday. James, coming on to
Simon,
yes,
the most important thing is it's going to be free. So you just register your details. All BBA members will get this info sent to their inbox. So anybody who wants to join the BBA, they'll get membership is free. And just going on to the membership, we do a lot of podcasts, send out competitions. And you were a competition winner with the BBA as well, James, a long time ago, weren't you? You won the Hall of Fame as well. Yeah,
I did. How many years was that? I can't remember now.
It's a few years ago, mate, isn't it? You did our original photo shoot. So, you know, this platform, people need to get involved because it can start you onto the road of stardom. I mean, it's done wonders for you. And I'm not saying it was just purely and simply the BBA, but it does give you a profile to leapfrog and gain some recognition within the industry, doesn't it?
100%. You know, give you that inspiration. You know, if you go ahead, of course, enjoying something, to create something, to participate, and then eventually you might get something at the end of it which inspires you to go even further.
So it's good. I mean, I think it's about 4 years ago, Gary. I can remember him winning that, actually. I think it's about 4 years ago. Time flies, doesn't it? James, guys, just before we move on to some questions for James, if you are interested in, I didn't know it was free, Gary, by the way, as well. I'm going to say to people, look, if you want to send me a tenner just on PayPal for getting it first in, first come, first served, then I'm happy to take your tenner off as well. Times are hard up in the north. It is free of charge. I'm in. So tonight, when you're watching it, you've got to type I'm in so we know what's happening, and we can get lots of people involved in that. Yes, Gary?
The first 10 will have front row seats. We'll put them right on the front so they can actually touch you as you're working.
Hey, listen, I've said to everybody next week, because they're clamoring up to get up to Johnny's, and I've said, look, from a social distancing point of view, we're going to keep it to about 5 or 6 people. So we're going to have to let a few people down next week, but you've got to make sure they're going to see you deteriorate live in the bar next week, drinking these shots, and you can't disappoint. People are coming to watch you drink, what's it called? Moonshine. You need to make sure the bar's stocked up with moonshine. People are saying next Friday up at Johnny's, they've got to see Gaz drink the moonshine. James, coming on to it. You're coming from a family business down there. People have heard you won, obviously, British Barbers Association Hall of Famer. You won the Wahl Barber of the Year, which I think is one of the biggest to win in the industry. You got offered a contract with Wahl, but you chose to work with 1922 and Kuhn. You're a global ambassador for that. You're traveling all over now. My first question to you is, what did you find out about getting noticed and then actually getting onto what we call the circuit? What would you think is the hardest thing? People are watching this will potentially want to get involved in it and get to the level you're at, even though you've still got a long way to go. But what did you find the hardest thing about getting noticed and actually getting onto the circuit?
That's hard. Yeah, that's hard. Well, you know, it's going for the competitions, having the confidence at first, you know, to go ahead and do it is pretty hard. And believing in you, well, you should believe in yourself anyway, but, you know, competitions can open doors for you. That's the great thing about them, you know, and the hard part is keeping up with it after a while, you know, afterwards, keeping up with going further and thinking of new content and stuff, you know. But it should naturally come anyway, you know, if you have that creative thing within you and you enjoy doing what you do, your passion drives you.
I think coming from a family background, from a family business as well, and you know, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but was it something that you, from a photography point of view, from an editorial point of view, is that something you always veered towards, or did you fall into that, or was it a natural progression, or did you really want to push your career in that direction?
No, I didn't initially straight away wanted to do that straight away. What it was one of my clients, his son is a fantastic photographer. And this was going back many years ago. And well, probably about 8 years ago. And he was only 16 at the time. And he's fantastic. And he was like, can I just shoot some work? You know, you cutting hair and shooting some of your friends who are models. And then seeing that, you know, seeing what you can do and showing that passion and seeing yourself doing it, or it gave me that little spark. And I saw the photography, I was learning off him, he was learning off me, learning off each other, you know, through the photography side. And that's how it grew for me.
So, you know, one of the things I always ask people as well once to start, because you know as well, and I know you're very slick on stage, you always look immaculate. I've seen your preparation when you come to do shows with us. You know, you were never one that were like, I can't get a model. You did what you had to do. You fitted in perfect. That's why I offered you a contract, mate. Very impressed with you, young man.
Okay.
I've not asked this question before. I don't want you to hold back as well. All right? So what do you most dislike about other presenters in this industry, especially in barbering? What do you most dislike?
What do I most dislike about all the presenters?
Well, the certain don't mention names, but what's the kind of, because I've got loads of things. I walk past them sometimes and think, what the fuck? Who the fucking hell do you think you are? You've been in it 3 years. You've got fucking 8,000 followers on Instagram. You've got an academy that is not an academy. You just use a chair at the bottom of your salon when you shoot on a Monday. But I'm not going to get into it tonight, but I've got loads of stuff that sometimes pisses me off. What is it about this industry or the presenters in the circuit that kind of piss you off?
I hate saying negative things, man. I don't really talk about negative stuff about people. Okay, I'd say is not jumping the gun. You know, you see people that are on stage and you're obviously inspired by their work, and you get many people that just jump the gun straight away and try to do it straight away, and not necessarily they have some of the knowledge that, you know, might jump them up, you know, trip them up as such. So it's almost being patient. That's what I hate, seeing some people that are in the industry for like a year or two and they jump the gun straight away on stage. But I feel like in hairdressing and barbering, in years, you create a feeling with cutting hair. You know, it's a feeling. It's not just knowledge. You create a feeling, and I think that takes a few years. And you know, you can't always teach that, and that's a little bit annoying, yeah, when I see people that do that.
Gary, what you're on it as well, mate, and Gary, a lot of people don't know Gary in terms of how many air miles he does. I mean, bloody hell, this guy travels more to America, even though we're an American company, than I do. Gary, in your view as well, I want to hear it from you to the viewers as well. When you go to shows and that, you're such a happy-go-lucky guy and you're so generous to people, even though sometimes I don't want you to be. What pisses you off sometimes about the new crop of presenters?
I don't think it's just the new crop. I think some of the older guys and, you know, presenters, as long as they do it well, don't bullshit, you know, your clients. Don't try and bullshit the crowd. You know, don't piss on them and tell them it's raining. That's my main thing. You know, don't make things up. As long as everything's factual, concise, and it works, you know, don't. I find there's a lot of educators out there that, or demonstrators, aren't trained teachers, aren't actually been in the classroom and a formal teacher. So I think a lot of the time, you know, as James has just said, you've got to do your apprenticeship even in presenting and teaching. So it's one of those things that doesn't come overnight. But I think it's my one thing that I'll tell everybody in any class that I'm going in is have some integrity. Stand by your word, stand by what you say and what you mean and what you do, and honestly have the best for your student in your mind. It's not about showing off. It's not about twirling your scissors or, you know, swearing and being an arsehole on stage. It's about having the student's best interest in your mind. I think do that and you can't go wrong.
Oh, pissing on people, because some people like that kind of shit. I don't know. I'm not into it, but I've heard some barbers are into all that kind of stuff. Anyway, James, keep quiet about Manchester still. We're going to keep on the note of keeping it nice and professional and nice and light. And I'm sure both of you are both same as me. You ever watch somebody that does loads of fantastic photographs on Instagram? The social media side looks fantastic, but when you meet them in real life, it's like booking that 5-star hotel through the brochure. But when you get there, it's just a bit tatty. It needs a lick of paint. It's not what I thought it was going to be. Do you find that, James?
What, with my work? Is that what you mean?
No, I'm on about people in general. We Instagram people. You know, you watch your presenter put stuff on Instagram. The work looks fantastic. Their Instagram looks superb. But when you meet them in real life, it's probably not what you thought. Do you find that sometimes?
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, like, you know, photography can lie as well, you know, through images of haircuts all yourself, I guess, isn't it?
So I've got one more question to ask you on this. Where you are so far, 14 years into it, you've done really well, winning competitions with Wahl and the BBA. You've had opportunities that you've chose to go and do your brand. One of the things I always say to young barbers is stick with one brand, don't jump in. So you're with a top brand. Is there anything about your journey so far that you would change?
No, not really. No, I think I've enjoyed the journey so far, and I'm pretty happy where I am. And there's obviously a few little mistakes that maybe I won't mention on here, but no, I've enjoyed my journey, and I just take life as it comes, you know.
Well, mention one mistake that you were made for our viewers that's up and coming. Is there something that you would just share with everybody? We had Jamie Stevens on last week. He shared a massive thing with everybody. I don't know if you watched it. What's one thing you would share with everybody, a mistake that you've made that you would share with everybody else?
No, really.
Night out in Manchester?
Yeah, probably a night out with you. Went a bit on, didn't it? No, I've had plenty of those. Plenty of those mad nights, you know, and I wish like the next day that should not have happened, you know.
This guy looks like butter won't melt in his mouth.
I think everybody's had them moments anyway. Yeah. We've all had those nights that we shouldn't have, but it's about getting up in the morning. Just quickly with your salon, and how many stylists have you got down there? Do you work on your own? Is it a close knit team? Are you planning to open any more? What's in the future for James?
In the future for me, well, at the moment, after COVID, it's just focusing on the business. All international travel is pretty much, you know, off, you know, not happening at the moment. I'm having a few talks with people for the future, but it's all, you know, I don't like to book something. I don't like to turn people down. So at the moment, not happening. At the moment, it's just focus on the team, the 2 shops, and get them good, and hopefully it can grow further. And with the training. Education.
Do you know what? We need to take him out. He needs to come to Leeds with us, doesn't he? We need to have another Manchester moment, whatever it is. I'll find out what's happened anyway, but I'm sure we need another night out, definitely.
Well,
yeah, well, I don't know. Some of the bars we went into Manchester, I don't know if they've got them in Leeds or not. We went to some real good dancing bars and we had a really good time in Manchester.
We
Yeah.
didn't dance that much, though, did we? Everyone else was dancing.
Oh, I tell you what, you're right. I can't do this anymore. Gary's a ledge. I can't drink with him, but as we've got older, you'll get this as well with traveling. You do. I'm very, very careful now what I drink the night before because I cannot work on stage with hangovers anymore. I just can't do it, mate. It's, I've gone from being the last to bed at Salon, but over the last 10 years, you've probably seen me up to last year, probably not even going out on the Friday night, maybe in bed on the Saturday to watch match at day. It's like it gets earlier and earlier every year.
Yeah, my hangover's going for about 4 days. I can't do it. If I'm on stage on a hangover, it's not good at all. It's not good at all. I cut myself twice, I think, being hungover on stage. Yeah.
So you keep using clippers?
Huh?
Use clippers, not scissors. You're not doing yourself.
No.
What's one of your funniest moments on your travels then, James? Where's some of the funniest things that have happened to you on your travels?
Funniest things that's happened to me on my. I wish you would ask me these questions. Wish you'd email me these questions, and I'll come up with.
Oh no, that's the whole point of this interview. This is why we do it.
Things that have happened, quite funny.
Have another drink; it'll flow better.
I was absolutely. What could I say? I can't. Some of them are like a bit too bad. I shouldn't really say, I can't.
Listen, the wife,
and I'll see how deep to go.
The wife isn't listening and pretends nobody's listening whatsoever.
Nothing like that.
Gary, on that, shall we have a little shot? James, have you got a little shot with you?
I'll just net the rest of the beer.
Lightweight. Gaz, all the best. I'll have some more of Jackie's tequila. Jack, I know you're watching, Jack, because you keep sending loads of messages to me to keep asking these questions about Manchester. But I'm on my last, probably 2 drinks of Patron. I can feel it tonight, to be fair.
James,
drink all week. Ready?
James, what's cheers in Dutch then? And working for a Dutch company, what?
I don't know.
Have they got you into any bad habits or what?
I don't know what cheers is actually. Australia, skull. Let's just say skull, yeah?
Skull. Here we go.
Up your bum.
I'm getting a pro at this, guys. It's getting to be a bit worrying, this. James, we're coming towards the end, mate. Again, a great guest flying on with these guests. Me and Gaz sometimes look at each other and we're looking at it like it's straight away because we've got some things coming up. We like our viewers to get a little profile on James Beaumont himself. I know we've got a little bit to know about you tonight. I just want to say to everybody, when this lad worked on stage for us at Wahl, it was nothing but class. His work is class. He's a class act all the way through, and we at Wahl wish him all the very best for the future in whatever this young man does. James, what's your favourite drink?
My favourite drink probably is rum, spiced rum. Love spiced rum.
Do you have that with Coke, so it's a bit like a Dr. Pepper's?
Sometimes, or sometimes just on its own.
Beautiful. When we go to the Afro Awards in London, Michael Damiano introduced me to this. It's nice. Yeah. Nice. Spice rum's your favourite drink. What's your favourite music?
Favourite music would have to be Deep House or something.
Deep House?
Yeah. But I like any kind of music. Love reggae, like anything chilly.
What's the favourite place you've travelled to? What's your favourite destination?
Favourite destination probably is, one of them is, well, I have plenty of them, but Suriname, which is above Brazil, and that's amazing to be near the jungle. I love it.
Nice one. What's your favourite food?
Favourite food would be Indian. I love Indian food.
You got some nice Indians down there where you are?
A few, not many. Actually, not many.
And who would you all like to do the above with? What would be your ideal night out with, dinner date with?
What, anybody in the whole world?
Yeah, anybody in the world. You tell me who you'd like to do all the above with.
Oh, mate. What are these questions? It would have to be you two. Turn it into a pint. Have a pint and listen to more stories about you, Simon, like those stories you've given to me in Manchester.
Excellent. Here we've got James Beaumont, who's doing absolutely fantastic in his career and his family business, and working with 1922 and Cune. Young man's won British Barbers Association Hall of Famer. He's won the Wahl British Barber of the Year. Top man, top family, top presenter. And he's there along drinking some nice spiced rum. He's listening to some house music. His favourite place would be probably in some jungle near Brazil. His favourite food, he'd be eating some Indian food. And he'd love to do that with me and Gaz. We would love to do the all above, except the house music. We're a bit more into Wham or Barry White, but we could compromise. We can mix some of them in. James, you've been a great guest, mate. Thank you very much for joining us on Barber's Arms. I'll pass you over to Gaz, but all the best with your career, pal. Keep watching.
Thank you. Thanks,
James. It's been a pleasure, mate. I know we bump into you now and again all over the world. Inspiration. Great to see you. I'm sure there's more to James Beaumont than you're letting off today. I think you've been quite shy.
Yeah, it is actually, but you know, you should have emailed me these questions.
Oh no, that's not how it works on this show. So it's been great having you, sir. Thank you very much. Thanks for your time. Keep watching and the best of luck. Stay safe.
Thanks so much, Charles. Yeah.
Great guest again, guys. We get some really top guests on this show. I think the last 3 or 4 weeks in particular, I know we've had over 1.2 million views over the last 5 weeks. I think it's been really good, you know, the views that we get. But I think the guests coming in are of great quality. I think James were a little bit nice and reserved there. You know, sometimes.
The thing is, though, I mean, I know where he's coming from. I've probably been guilty of this, and you don't want bad mouth anybody, but sometimes you just got to get it out there and lay it out. You got to show us who. You don't want to be Mr. Switzerland and sit on the fence or anything. I know he's a lovely, genuine guy, but I think we caught him out with a few questions. But that's what the show's about, isn't it? We want to see the real person.
Well, do you know what? I was approached last January by a company who wanted to do like an off the spin book about hairdressing, barbering, my career as a presenter and stuff. I wasn't quite ready to tell everything in the book. I think you have to do that as you're coming away from your career, where you close it, you say everything in there. So I think sometimes people come on a little bit more reserved. We're not going to give them questions beforehand so they can prep it. Fucking drop it on the toes like an atom bomb. Here you go, cop for that. Yeah, you're not having any prep time. Here you go. There we go. But no, a great guy, and I think he's done really well in his career. And I think it's a great testament to people out there who are watching is that, you know, sometimes you get offered big stuff, and sometimes there's better stuff out there that's tailored for you.
I think sometimes as well, it's timing, isn't it? You know, you're not ready, and it's committing. People don't realise sometimes you have these great opportunities, and if it isn't the right time in your life, what's happening, you know, in your personal life or in your professional life, sometimes it just isn't the right time to do it. And you've got to be, because if you're going to commit, you know yourself, if you're going to take on a new team member, they've got to commit to you 110% to what your vision of what they're going to be with Wahl within the team. So, you know, if they can't commit to that, fair play to them and say, and it might be that, you know, they're not just ready, or you might regret it in years to come. You don't know, do you? But I think it takes some balls to turn a contract like that down, working with such a great company. So, you know, I've got respect for the guy for that. Definitely.
Yeah, do you know what though, Gary? Same as you guys. Sometimes people, you'll work with them, and sometimes, you know, if they don't come forward and need to do stuff for you, as long as they still use your products. And I know James loves our Wahl clippers and stuff. So when he's working on a stage in around the globe, he's still promoting us anyway. So fair play to the lad. He's good. Guys, before we move on to cocktails and our local heroes, if you're just joining us or if you're just watching this live as well, just to let you know, we've got some great big news coming up that's going to be happening soon here on Barbers Arms. We're going to do our first education platform, which is going to be absolutely amazing. We're going to be showing you some really nice, cool cuts. We've got some fantastic educators. We'll talk you through some of it as well. We're going to do this signature shave by Mr. Gary Machin himself, who I can't give him any more praise than I have him down to show the Wahl guys. Gaz travels all over the world doing this, and it's probably, for me, the best shave, the most safest shave, the most commercial shave that you can see. So that's going to be on this one as well. I'm going to be actually getting out my clippers and coming out to show you that one of our new collections, which is the mode. We've also got Michael Damiano, one of my team, who is an Afro Hall of Fame Barber of the Year. He's going to be doing it as well. We've also got the Razor Rock cut, and we've also got the Lloyd cut, which just featured on the front of Modern Barber, the front cover. And then we're going to wrap up where me and Gaz are going to interview all the presenters that's worked on the education in Barbers Arms. So myself, Gary Machin, we've got Michael Damiano, we've got Sam Campagne, and we've got Eric Lander joining us on this platform. So share this tonight, guys. You're first to see it. It's going to be live on Monday. And all we want you to do is send us a message and say, I'm in. And then we can get back to you as well. But you can also look for more information on our website, which is thebarbersarms.co.uk. Or you can email us at barbersarms@britishbarbers.com. That's going to be live on Monday, guys, for everybody to tune in. All you got to do is click I'm in. And guys, I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to be the most spectacular, professional online education kind of day that has ever been done. So I'm really looking forward to it. Are you?
And I'm getting able to watch you and critique your cut live on the Barbers Arms, which is fantastic. I'm looking forward to seeing you dusting them off.
Just to let everybody know, if you look on my Instagram, Simon Shaw Wahl, look on the Wahl Pro Instagram, Sam Campagne, Alternative Barbering. We've got Sam coming up as a guest next week. You can see a little taster into some new collections that we fetched out, which is the Lloyd, the Mode, and the Teardrop. And it tells you where we come about the inspiration, about the names. And I'll give you a little insight to that. So, guys, the Lloyd, we just got that on the front cover of Modern Barber. And people sometimes say, how do you come up with the names for stuff like with our seminars? I'm going to give you a little insight to this. The Lloyd is a crop with a V at the front and a really high fade, really smart. The vision on the front cover, you've seen it, looks really, really sharp. It's called the 101 collection, the pure white Wahl collection. Where did the name Lloyd come from? Lloyd off Dumb and Dumber.
No way.
That's the Lloyd. I'm not going to go into any of the other cuts, but that's how I come up with the names for the haircuts. So sometimes, you know, we people think and overthink stuff and call it isometric or symmetrica or methods or whatever. Ours are quite basic, very fun to, but then you think, oh, Lloyd, what's that? There you know, guys, a little bit of inside information. We call it the Lloyd. Guys, are we doing your cocktail first or are we having a break first?
We're just having a little commercial break and then we're going to come straight back with a really simple cocktail. It's a shooting drink. So here we go. We'll see you in a couple of minutes, guys.
That's my cue.
That's your cue.
Hey, Jim, you tried the new Gillette stainless blade? You better. You'll get the slickest shaves of your life.
One man asks another, one man tells another. Because on stainless steel, on any steel, it's the edge that counts. And Gillette edges are the world's sharpest, easiest shaving. You'll realize from your first stroke, your first shave, Gillette has given a brand new meaning to the phrase shaving comfort. Wherever you are, you get quick, clean shaves, refreshing shaves, more of them per blade. And uniform. Each blade is alike, each equally easy and smooth shaving. You've just got to try them to appreciate what we mean. Gillette stainless blades fit your slim adjustable razor or any Gillette razor exactly.
Hello, ladies. How are you? Fantastic. Does your man look like me? No. Can he smell like me? Yes. Should he use Old Spice body wash? I don't know. Do you like the smell of adventure? Do you want a man who smells like he can bake you a gourmet cake in the dream kitchen he built for you with his own hands? Of course you do. Swan dive into the best night of your life. So, ladies, should your man smell like an Old Spice man? You tell me.
Introducing a great new way to keep a man's hair in shape. New Max for Men, designed by Gillette. The hair dryer and styler with plenty of power to dry hair fast. Too much curl, the training brush smooths out waves. Too little body, the shaping comb blows in fullness. Max for Men, for the natural look, with plenty of power to style as it dries. New Max for Men, the hair dryer and styler, designed by Gillette.
We all set?
We're all back, mate. It was blast from the past, they were, weren't they?
Who's our local heroes this week, guys?
We've got, first on, we've got Paul Devro, and he's come all the way from Cumbria. He's got a barber shop over there, Devro's Barbers. And then we've also got Mark Egerton from Shropshire, so Egerton Barbers as well. So looking forward to having those guys on. But before that, we're just going to do a little cocktail. This one's it's an inspired. I've been shooting today, you know. I do a lot of clay pigeon shooting, so not live birds or anything. But I've been into Wales today. We've had a really nice day, but there's a lot of what can I say? It's a very sociable pastime, if you like. Been with a bunch of lads I haven't seen for probably 6 months. So this is a shoot drink that we use through the winter. It's a bit of a winter warmer. So, you know I like whiskey, so we've got 1 portion of Glavar, which, I don't know, have you ever tasted this? Have you ever had Glavar, Simon?
Yeah, I have actually. I used to have it with one of my old pals, Jimmy, Jersey Jim we call him, but he used to give me a Glavar. He used to proper send me over the edge.
So Glavar is very sweet. It's a whiskey liqueur. So we've got 1 measure of that. Then we've got 2 measures of whiskey. If you're going to put anything in a drink, if you're going to put anything in a cocktail, be able to, don't get the cheap stuff. Don't be a cheapskate. Always be able to drink the stuff you're going to mix. So there's 2 shots of Jura whiskey here. People would say it's too good to be putting in this drink, but I love it. So just beautiful, that is. So we put that in. And then we've got, and this is quite risky. A lot of people don't know this or don't like it, but have you ever had ginger wine?
No, never.
Stone's ginger wine. It's an alcoholic wine. It's got loads of ginger in. So we've got 4 measures of that. And we give it a little whisk, a little around there, 1 lump of ice. I don't usually drink it with ice, to be honest, because this is a shooting drink, like I say, and we drink it in the field. I make 2 litres of this up every time we go shooting, and there's quite a few of us. And anything I don't drink, I bring home with me. You know, I drink home of a night. But it's absolutely, if it's a crisp, frosty morning, you go out on a walk or shooting or whatever you're going to do. This is called a whiskey mac. Now, a lot of people think, I've had a whiskey mac before, but honestly, when you taste it, if you like it a little bit sweeter, you can put a little bit more Glavar in. And I'm not doing this in a wanna because I know what you say to me, because this is a big drink. I'm going to sip this one. I'll do half of it, but I'm not going to do the full lot. But it's absolutely beautiful. People who don't like whiskey, this is a great introduction because it doesn't taste like whiskey. It's very sweet. It's got the ginger in. It's beautiful. I'm going to bring some of this with me next Friday, honestly. It's a Machin special, this is. It's renowned in the shooting ground and in our shooter that we use. So good health, everybody. A whiskey mac, perfect for a winter's morn. Perfect.
Have you thought about your cocktail for next week?
Oh, baby, that is the best ever, that is. I haven't actually. I was waiting for a bit of inspiration. I was I always try and take this, do the cocktail and take some inspiration from our guests. And I don't know, our guest, our main guest next week, which is Matt. And I'm not quite sure, as a professional footballer, is he a drinker or not?
Well, I think most footballers in the modern era now, I know my son Alex, that they don't drink at all, but I'm sure Matt in his era, I think he's had over 600 EFL games in his career as a goalkeeper, now in barbering. I'm sure he'll tell us a few stories about some of the antics that's gone on in drinking with footballers. But I think a lot of people next week, Gary, especially live, are wanting to see some moonshine come back into play. So make sure you fetch your moonshine next week to Leeds.
Right. So if I'm drinking moonshine, guess who's drinking moonshine?
Oh, come on. I'll be in a mess.
I'm not doing it with Nick, just on my own. You got to share everything I do next week. So you're going to be in it. If I'm in a mess, you're in a mess next week, maybe.
Don't forget, guys, you can also look at all these events that's coming up, the new live events coming up as well on our website, which is thebarbersarms.co.uk. My Instagram, Simon Shaw Wahl. Gary's the British Barber. If you want to email us as well, you can email us at barbersarms@britishbarbers.com. This will all be out. Remember, when you see the event that's coming up as well, the education event as well, just text that word "I'm in." I know we've had lots of people coming in saying they can't wait for that as well. We've got guests coming up, guys. Probably enter this one after we've had as local guests on, but a lot of people are asking us about where do we stand in terms of shaving as well with the new restrictions that's on. So after we've had as local guests, if you just really want to reiterate to everybody the importance of doing what we should be doing in barbershops again, everything, visors, masks, because none of them want to shut down again. So we need to make sure we're doing it.
No problem.
Here we go.
How are we, mate? Are you there? Paul? You got your audio on, Paul?
Just to let you know, guys, as well, we always make sure that the guys have got their audio. They have a little rehearsal beforehand, but they all struggle when they come on live. What's wrong with them? Press your audio button.
Hey,
can you hear me?
Are we there, mate? How are you? We got there.
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm very well. How are
Brilliant.
you? Are you well?
I'm absolutely fine. Yeah, brilliant. We just finished work, so just cleaning down and getting ready for tomorrow.
Fantastic.
How you doing, Paul? Are you okay, pal?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks, Simon. You good?
Very well. Nice for you to join us on Barbers Arms. Have you been watching Barbers Arms through lockdown?
I watched it a bit through lockdown, but obviously when we've gone back, because we work till 9, it's been pretty difficult catching up. I've seen a bit, but not a great deal since we've gone back. But yeah, it's been good. It's been good through lockdown.
Fantastic. So what time do you finish on a Friday then?
9 o'clock.
You work till 9 o'clock then?
Yeah, we've just finished now. We're just sorting the shop out for tomorrow, getting it cleaned up and cashing up and whatnot.
Fantastic, mate. So you've had a busy day. Has it started picking up again after the lull, after the initial back to work rush? Yeah,
we found it. This week's been pretty good. The first 11 days when we was back, it was absolutely hectic, and then we just went flat. It was really worrying, to be honest with you, but obviously understandable in the current situation. But yeah, this week's been better. It's been a lot better. So,
cool.
Paul, do you want to turn your phone sideways just so we can get a bit more of you in? That's it. That's a bit better, mate. We can see you now. We can see your nice beard and your nice brick wall that's behind you.
Give us a walk around the shop, Paul. Then can you show us a bit of your shop?
Yeah, can do. Hold on. Can I turn the camera on? Let me see. Yeah, can. Right, so this is hold on, stand over here. So this is our upstairs. So nice. In any normal situation, we'd have 6 barbers working up here. And then if I go downstairs.
I'd struggle down there after Barbers Arms, if you want me to be honest with you.
I struggle down there after a 12-hour shift. So this is the downstairs. And usually, like I say, in any current situation, we'd have like 5 barbers working down here as well.
What changes have you had to make, Paul, to make you COVID friendly? You know, to keep in the regulations. And I know people have been talking about, some people haven't been following the regs, and obviously your followers and you're part of the BBA accreditation. But what actually, how have you had to change your business or the way you worked to actually get into following the regulations?
So basically, obviously, we adhere to all the PPE, gloves, visors. We were using the plastic aprons for the barbers and disposable gowns for the customers. But I think the big struggle for us was the fact that we have, like, the shop's quite sizable, but we have 11 barbers, and we couldn't have 11 barbers all working on a Friday, Saturday like we used to. So that's one of the reasons that we shut at 9 now. We had to open later, split the shifts between the barbers, so there was only a maximum of 5 barbers in at one time, because then we could adhere to social distancing. And to be honest, it's worked really, really well for us. Everybody's happy with it. The clients have responded well. We started taking details for the track and trace, so we're recording people that are coming in the shop that are walking in without an appointment. We've got Buxy otherwise, so the client base is always there for us with email addresses, phone numbers. But I mean, we've had 1 or 2 like questionable clients coming in, and you're asking for names and phone numbers, and they're looking at you like you work for CID, and you're like, I mean, I have to do it, you know what I mean? And they're running out of the shop as soon as you ask for an address, and you're thinking, flipping out, what's he hiding?
Do you have a lot of competition in your area?
Yeah, there is, yeah. Quite a lot. There didn't used to be honest. When I opened this spot, we've been open 11 years, and we were the 3rd barbershop to open in town. Within the last 3 years, I think now we're up to 10 barbershops that have all popped up in the last 3 years.
What's the town that you're in? What's it called where you are?
It's Barrow in Furness. So
you've got a good football team up there, haven't you?
They've just been promoted, yeah.
Yeah.
Leeds have just been promoted as well, haven't they? Are you not a Leeds fan?
No, I don't want Leeds to win a throw-in, if you want me to be honest with you, mate. I'll get a bit of stick for that, but no. My son used to play for Leeds United, but I was never a Leeds fan anyway. But no, I'm not bothered. But it'd be nice to see him back in Championship next season. Spend a load of dough, getting a load of debt, and then come back down again.
Paul, I know, and from your point of view of your competition. Is there a big price difference in the town? Have you found that people are undercutting, prices have gone up or gone down, or what's the pricing structure? How's that changed?
To be honest, we have had to put our prices up coming back in. Obviously, you've got to cover the cost of your PPE and things like that, all your sanitisation fluids and stuff. But I think everybody's gone down the same route, so I don't think there's a massive difference in prices. I think basically everybody's in the same boat. So yeah, I don't think anybody's trying to undercut anybody. So we've been pretty lucky like that.
That's nice to hear. I think we're all in it together. That's a great way of looking at it. There's enough trade to go around, and if we keep the prices up, it makes for a great business. A strong business as well. How's the staff taking all the changes? How fitting them all in, and with the only 5 in at a time. How have they taken it? Have they taken to the new regime pretty good? Or
yeah, like I said, it responded really well. The first 10 days, everybody was over the moon because they was earning like a fortune, basically, because everybody was just booked up. And then when the lull came, I think there was a little bit of worry there because they'd been reduced from, some of them would come in. We used to open 9 till 7 on the Thursday, Friday, and some people would come in and work the full day. But obviously, they was reduced to a 6-hour shift on that day. And then if they didn't have a lot of appointments in, given that we were appointment only at first, it was a bit of a struggle, and it was worrying times really. And I'm sure like they felt the worry as well. But we've just motored on and just like played it out to see what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. And if there's any adjustments that need to be made, we'll make the adjustments accordingly. I'm quite lucky. Like I've got a good team that are understanding and they want to work here. They're happy to work here. They're all ambitious and it's good. It's refreshing.
Shop looks amazing, mate. I love your floor on both levels. It looks really good, mate. Testament to you in the time. 11 years, you say you've been open?
11 years this month, yeah.
Fair play. What's your favourite clipper?
The senior. Wahl senior. Belter. Love it.
Yeah, it's I cut my son's hair today and I use senior. I love that product, and I'll never forget what that particular product did for us when we launched it a few years ago at Salon. People were queuing up for it when it became. It's been out in the US as a corded product for years. We were the first globally to launch it cordless. I'll never forget the days, Gary, the day at Salon when the shutters lifted up and people ran to the stand. And I think we did 300 over the Salon International, and we had to limit people to one per person. But that's nice to hear, mate. It's nice to hear, Paul. Yeah. Great guest up in Cumbria. Very good.
Thanks very much. Thanks for having me.
Paul, it's been a pleasure as usual. I know you support the BVA in a great way. You're always entering the competitions, you and your team supporters. Thank you very much for coming on the show, giving us your time, getting having a really, really well-deserved beer now, cold beer now on the way home, mate. Get ready for tomorrow.
Cheers, Gary.
Thank you very much, mate.
Thanks for having us.
Keep watching, pal. Keep watching. Get involved in our education that's coming up as well. So there we have Paul Devro up in Cumbria, in Barrow-in-Furness. Great guy. Gary, I love to see people who are doing really well. And, you know, his shop looked fantastic. Working till 9 at night. He's got his head screwed on. He's fair to his barbers. He's done it right. Those are the kind of people that are doing this industry. Unsung heroes, but are doing fantastic jobs. Love it.
Brilliant. Really good. And his team are constantly entering competitions. Be pushing themselves all the time, so it's brilliant.
Excellent.
Right.
Who's up next, guys?
I think we've got our second guest on. Are you there? Mark? Mark, are you there? Mr. Egerton.
Hello there. How you doing?
I'm all right, mate. To you?
Can you hear me, my mate? Hello, Stokey like.
Hey up. Are you on the horse?
I'm not on an horse, no. I'm in well, it looks like I'm in my pub, like. This is the Anvil. This is the local pub that I take all the gang to on a Saturday afternoon after I've finished. Yes.
So that doesn't look much like a barber shop. Are you going to show us something special tonight?
No, I'm not, because I'm not in my barber shop. I finished there. I went down there at. I've done a funny day today, because today has been. I've been in today from 6 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, and I worked till 12 o'clock. And then what I did then, Gary, is I took me. I disbanded me Rocket. Yeah, you know me Rocket that I've got. You know the mobile barber shop. So I took that down this afternoon, and then after that I came home, had a bit of a kip, to be honest, and then I went back in the shop and saw a builder. Yeah, and this builder's sorting out the shop next door. So Egerton's Barbers soon will be. Simon, how are you doing, my mate?
Guys, you okay, son?
Yeah, it's my mate. Do you remember the first time we met?
Go on, remind me, Mark.
No, we were at it was the convention in South Wales. Yeah. Excuse me, I've just had a quiet.
Was he on the piano? Was he on the piano?
No, it wasn't the piano. It wasn't the piano. No, it wasn't the piano in the hotel. You were working the Wahl stand at South Wales, yeah. And you were like going, do you use Wahl then, do you, Mark? I went, Well, you didn't hear my name then. He says, I said, no, I don't. I've got a tattoo with Oster on my hand. Do you remember? You won't remember, do you? No. Yeah, you do. You do remember, don't you? And I said, so I won't be using you. And I didn't realise how famous you were, right? But let me tell you, Mr. Simon, right? I've moved over to Wahl now. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, right? There's no honest to gospel truth. Wahl have come on so much. I mean, that was like probably 7 years ago. Yeah, the Barbers convention, Barbers Connect.
Barber Connect.
Barber Connect in South Wales. Yeah, and I never forget your face. You were going, you bugger, because I had that tattoo on my hand, like, you know, the Oster 97. Yeah.
One of my best mates, Carl Smith's got an Oster 97 tattooed on that he had done years ago. And every time I see him at local pub, I'll say, "Show me your tattoo, you twat," because all you use is Wahl. Matt, thanks for your nice comments that we've come on a long way.
No, listen.
We've tried over the 101 years that we've been trading.
No, I know that. The only reason I used Oster, right, was in the first shop I trained in, which was 17 years ago, was because they were really noisy, right? Okay. And that's the yeah. That was the reason I used them. I mean, I use them, but I mean, on my stand now, I've got like. And this, I've got Oster, but I have got Wahl. Wahl are my favourite at the moment. I'll be honest with you. I'm not just saying that because you're there. I'm not. Hey,
listen, Mark.
You lie it.
Our producer is saying in Australia that if we take you to a tattooist, we can get that Oster tattoo removed, and we can have it really artistically covered over with a nice senior or a magic clip. We'll pay for it. How's that sound?
Yeah, that sounds good to me. That does.
Gaz is in. We're going to change his tattoo over. We're going to do that. That's what we do at Wahl and the BBA.
On there. It's on there, right? Can you see it, Simon? Yeah.
I can't. Just come a bit further to your.
There it is. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. But you see that there, yeah, is probably a Wahl one anyway. Yeah. The old one.
Well, we'll have a look at it, and we'll have a look, and we'll definitely do it. Gary, I think Mark could be one of these guys that we go down and do a live Barber's Arms in his local pub. How's that sound to you, Mark?
It sounds good to me, that does. Simon, you can come to my anvil anytime you like, yeah? It's just up the road from me. Yeah, job's a good one, yeah?
Do you know what?
We'd have to set up a little corner in your local pub with some cameras and stuff like that. Are you good for that?
I'm up for that, my mate. Yeah, no worries.
Guys, I'd like to do that. He sounds a really good guy. So let's have a live one down there.
I think we ought to have the tattoo changed live on the show as well. Before and after.
All right.
I've got a great tattooist that would do that for him as well. So let's do it live down there.
Yeah. Move me from Oster to Wahl.
Well, you've done that yourself, mate, so that's really good. What are you drinking, Mark?
I am drinking Gold Label, yeah. And
Gold Label. I ain't seen that for years.
Oh, I know. And Nessagin mixed, yeah. Look. Oh,
no
beautiful.
Way.
Oh, mate. Oh, come on.
Awesome. I love it.
Come on, Gary, you've got to be done. It's got to be done.
Gaz, he's a match for you,
Northern.
Gaz.
Proper Northern.
I love it, Mark. This is
We'll have a proper session.
You know, fuck him. There's loads of people in Barnsley be watching that saying, I drink that every day.
Yeah, Gold Label. Do you remember, like bitter and mild mixed? It was like the old boys drink, but like, I'm 54. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Northern.
Gaz will understand a bit more. He's in the same era as you, but obviously I'm a bit younger, so I don't really understand.
Get off with you. I'm older than Gary.
Mark, listen. So you're not going to show us around your rocket tonight, then?
No, I can't show you around my rocket. But if you go on my Facebook, you can see the rocket all done up and everything. I did actually. Me and my team did because I've got a wonderful team. We did. 66 hours free haircuts for the NHS. How about that then, Gary?
Well done, pal.
Hey, 66 hours. Yeah, we were working Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Yeah, from 10 till 4 for 3 weeks. Yeah, so we've done that for the NHS, and it was all set up in the Parkhouse car park. Yeah, just down the road from my barbershop. And it was just it was good because we had a lot of feedback from it, and it was nice because you've got to do something for the guys for the NHS, you know, free haircuts. Yeah, so there you go.
Well done, pal.
So I packed that away tonight because I built that for it was for exhibitions and also like you know, 50 shows and this, that, and the other. And then there's no shows this year, is there? You know, so I had to put it away. I put it away today, and then went back in the shop, and I caught up with the builder, and the builder is doing up the shop next door. Yeah, because the shop next door is now going to be Egerton's Barbers, 3A Victoria Road, 3A and B. Yeah, so I'm actually building through lockdown. Yeah.
Well done, pal.
Yeah.
I'm going to say give yourself a plug there, but you've already done it. But
yeah, thank you.
Matt, what's your thoughts on industry at the minute? What's your general thoughts on it?
Well, for the first 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, we were working 90 hours a week. Yeah, we really battered it. Yeah, so it was like 180 hours in the first 2 weeks, and then the third week it went a little bit flat. I'll be honest with you, and this week has been a little bit flat. But what you got to bear in mind is, as you know, there's a lot of guys that are still you know, at home, they're not working. Yeah, they're on furlough. They're not going out. There's no christenings. There's no weddings. There's no parties. Yeah, so we understand that it's a little bit flat, and there's still guys that are still doing their home haircuts, but it will build up, and that is why I've actually invested in the shop next door to build up. Yeah, because barbering is the future, you know. And there are a lot of barbershops
like garlic bread.
I know garlic bread. But what we've got to do is we've got to reinvest. This is the time to reinvest in the future. Yeah, the strong will survive. Yeah, and as long as I use Wahl clippers, I'll be fine and dandy, won't you, Simon?
Right. Let's have a drink then, girls.
Yes. Are we having a drink?
Fill it up, and you've got to do it in one.
In what?
I'm going to have a half a tequila because I can't. I've had 2 strong ones tonight, but...
Yeah, okay. Lovely.
Whoa. Mark, it's been a pleasure to speak to you tonight, mate.
No, Simon, it's been a pleasure to speak to you, and also Gary as well, because me and Gary go back a long way. But thank you for inviting me on tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure, right? And God bless you both.
Top man, Mark Egerton there, who's down in Shropshire. Top man, drinking his gold label with his bitter and that. That's brilliant. Gary, what a guest, what a character. I'm sure when we go into this, guys, as well, we'll be looking at Mark's venue down there to take after we've done Leeds venue next week. Mark should definitely be one there for future that we should go down and see him. But thanks a lot, Mark, for joining us on Barbers Arms.
You're welcome.
Mark,
God bless you.
Been a pleasure, mate. See you later, buddy.
Thanks, mate. Bless you.
What a character. Great. I love that. I could spend a lot of time with him.
He's you know what? He's a lovely guy, but it's unfortunate that he couldn't show us around. I thought he was getting to get his rocket, but he's built from scratch this fantastic mobile barbery, and it's in a classic shape. He pulls it around, does exhibitions and different things, and he's got Beaumont chairs in there. It's absolute stainless all the way around, all outside. Airstream. It looks absolutely beautiful, and it's unfortunate that he couldn't get it. But if anybody's interested, I'm sure if you get in touch with Mark, he'll give you a guided tour. But we will definitely. But we got to get him change his tattoo live. That'll be hilarious.
What a great guy, though. Just great enthusiasm. 54-year-old. He's buying the shop next door. He's redoing it in this terrible time for everybody. But that's what the industry, and this is what this show's about. Guys, if you still, people are watching, if you want to be a local hero and show us your shop and show us what you're doing. I think tonight we've had Paul on and Mark on, who probably to the circuit and the presenters and the Instagram champions and the keyboard champions and the stage workers out there probably would be unknown. But to me and to us at Wahl and to the guys at the BBA, these are our ground root barbers who buy our products every week and do it. And for me, they're the real champions. And this is just a great platform on this show to show these real champions off. And Paul and Mark, fantastic. Well done, guys, tonight. Well done, guys.
I think it's great when you see people like that everyday barbers doing what they do day in, day out, represent. They give such a great picture of what the industry is about as well, isn't it? You know,
so guys,
great scene.
Questions, mate. Just to reiterate to before we leave everybody tonight, where should people be if people come in for shaving, close-up services? Where do we stand in the industry today with what Boris's announcement was at midday? Where do we stand?
So, as of last night, we were starting shaving again and close contact services on the face, so any facial area. And we're talking about high risk. So, we're talking around the mouth, face to face. We cannot do any more shaving again. It's been put back to the 15th of August. And that, I'm sure, will change again because of the spikes. We've got to be responsible. We've got to get people to social distance. And not, gather and be unscrupulous, if you like. The main thing is still keep doing what you're doing. So we're wiping down, we're making sure social distancing within the shop. We're hopefully, getting everybody to capture contact details, appointment only. Wearing visors is an absolute must. You must wear a visor if you are an operative or if you're a stylist barber. We should be getting clients to wear masks at all times, if possible. In shops now, it's mandatory. We got let off within the salon industry, within the barbering industry, but that has changed now. So we should be wearing masks if there's anybody around. So I think people have just got to, this isn't going away. This isn't going to be a quick fix. People have, I think people who are shielding, that's now been put back to the 15th as well. So they were allowed out on the first, vulnerable people. That's changing. So it does affect the service, it does affect the menu, and it does affect what clientele we're getting through the door. But you've got to stick with it, people. We've come this far. Don't just, throw caution to the wind. Do the right thing. Do the right thing by yourself. If you see anything, I'm not saying you turn into a country of whistleblowers, but trading standards is the people that you get in touch with if you feel that somebody is not following the regulations. They are the people to get in touch with, and they have to act. Remember, we've had a lot of cuts. There's a lot of austerity out there before this. So they haven't got the manpower. They are not proactive. They will be reactive. So they will go there if you tell them.
So you've heard it off one of the top man in the industry. He's the chairman of the Barber Council and the main man at BBA for everything that's coming out. Gary, everything that Gary would tell me, I would take every single word that he says as well. Thanks tonight for Dubai, China, USA, Brazil, Turkey, Spain, in the UK, Wales, Scotland, Ireland, and one of our biggest countries that follows us, Barbers Arms, which is in India. It's been absolutely fantastic tonight. Gary, one thing I'm going to do, and I didn't forget tonight, but I'm going to kind of fetch it in next week when we're in Leeds, because there's a company out in York that do decontamination where they come in and they spray. And I actually met the guy in Leeds today, Andy McMillan, who's an ex-footballer as well. Andy played for York City, so many appearances for York City. He set this business up. But when you spray it, he's going to explain it about how it sets deposits on. So if you drop your keys on the unit, it can scratch the deposits. But sometimes we're wiping with disinfectant and it don't work. And he's going to, next week, he's going to give me all the info that I'm going to tell everybody that you can come in and he sprays all your Salon and it lasts for as long as possible. So there's lots of things out there that we can really increase the safety in this industry. And I think we're going to need to do that because things aren't getting much better in certain areas, from what. But listen to what Gary said tonight. You cannot do shaves or close-up services tomorrow.
Do you know what, mate? I think in a lot of instances, the things that we've got in place, if you're doing it right anyway, it shouldn't be a big hardship to you. Okay, the visors, it is a bit tricky when we're cutting hair with masks when people are wearing masks. But the clean down, using clean tools for every client, we were doing that before, weren't we? You know, I mean, let's face it. You had clean tools for every client. Used your, you know, the Wahl spray there for hygienic spray. We did all that anyway, so it shouldn't be a hardship. Okay, fair enough. Perhaps we didn't clean down the chairs between every client. It wasn't expected. But I think a lot of these things now will stay with us even after we've gone through this pandemic. I think it's good for the industry. The disposable everything. So we've always used neck tape. We've always used clean gowns. But the disposable gowns are so easy. We've had them. I'll bring one on next week. We've had branded gowns that are disposable. So I think a lot of things. And if you go into Dubai and high-end places, especially in the States, they were doing a lot of these things for a long time before anyway. So I don't think it's a bad thing for a lot of things either. Okay, no. We are being limited on what we can do. Shaves is a massive part of our business. Love shaving. We do a lot of shaving. It isn't so much the actual using the blade, because we use PPE anyway. We use gloves anyway. It's about being face to face, very close in the client's face. So even though we're wearing shields, it's about being so close. You can do a beard trim from the sides, can't we? But actually face to face, you know, the ladies who have the brows done, the facials, unfortunately, we can't do that at the moment. So we just got to stick with it. You know, be calm. You know, we're doing it. They're not doing this just to brass us off and be awkward. We're doing it for public safety.
And I think it's, you know, I think that's spot on. As I say, you know, then we're doing everything. And I know we're doing everything as a brand. We've got hygiene spray, we've got detergent sprays coming out. But there is companies as well that kind of give you that a bit extra, which then you can put out. You can film them while they're doing your decontamination. We're not tied to any brands here at Barbers Arms, but there's things that you can research. And next week when we're in Leeds, I'll talk a little bit about that can just up your ante in terms of the COVID stuff. Guys, don't forget tonight we launch. Me and Gaz will be out next week at Barber House, which is Johnny Barber's place up in Leeds. But also as well on Monday, we launch our virtual education platform. This is something that you can register on Monday onwards. This is going to be a fantastic event where we're going to show you some really cool haircuts, some haircuts that have never been seen before. We're going to do the signature shave from the VBA by Gaz. We're going to do the mode. We're going to do the Afro fade. We're going to do the razor rock. We're going to do the Lloyd, which was on the front cover of the last edition of Modern Barber. And then we're going to finish off with me and Gaz interviewing the presenters in Barbers Arms as myself, Gary Machin. We've got Michael Damiano, Afro Hall of Famer. We've got Eric Lander from the BBA. And we've got Wahl's lead educator, Sam Campagna, who are going to be the first on this educational platform. We can't wait at the Barbers Arms and BBA for this. It's going to be amazing. Another great show as episode 17. Thanks to James Beaumont. Thanks to Mark Egerton. And to Paul Devro tonight for their candor and their chat tonight. I've really enjoyed it. Another night in the arms. Guys, I always finish off by looking at a week and looking at a show. This is like, you know, this is the other thing I have to do that gives me any performance. So I always like to dedicate things to people about this. I wanted to say tonight, I think the guests that we've had on have been fantastic. They've really shown us, again, the passion. I love the local hero stuff. I think that, for me, is something that we all decided we wanted to do between myself, you, and Jackie and Trevor. I wish Trevor could come on tonight to show you his fantastic haircut. Such fantastic new haircut that Trevor's done with Wahl clippers. But I'd like to dedicate tonight to my mum. Tough times for everybody. Excuse me. And Gaz, I'll let you take over from me. But tough
Perfect,
week.
mate. I wouldn't like to do this with anybody else, only you, mate. You know I'm there. We're going to have a great night next week. We've got great guests, Johnny Barber, Matt Glennon, Groomers 27. Thank you, all the guests, everybody who's watching us, everybody who's following us, you stars. As you said, the local heroes, that's what we're all about. That is the main man. To end the show, I'll dedicate this to you. Great family man. Love you to death. Perfect host. Great professional. See you next week, mate. We're going out.
See you all next week, guys. See ya.
See you later.